Welcome back to our program, continuing my discussion here with Padma Shri Astad Debu. Now, going forward, Astad, where do you see all of this happening for you? How do you see it going forward?
Well, it'll continue, as some people say, are you still dancing? And I said, do you have any problems?
Of course you are, and beautifully too.
And I'm creating. So, you know, as an individual creator, as all creators, I mean, there may be sort of like, as they say, a frozen elbow. So at times there is sort of a bit of a lull even in the creativity aspect. But one has many ideas still which is in the back burner. And then when you see an opportunity arising, and then you start working on that. So yes, I have quite a few ideas still sort of tinkering in my head, and let's see, time will only show what then eventually sees the light of that particular project that I am looking at developing and creating.
Right. Now, you are a choreographer as well as a dancer, and I'm just wondering, when you put both of these things together, you know, in your own passion, does it clash sometimes? Is it easy to be doing both as you're going along?
Yeah, it hasn't been a hindrance in my case. When I'm choreographing and I'm from the outside, and then when I have to step in as a dancer, I'm choreographing myself. So when you are working with a group and compared to an individual solo performance, yes, it's a different approach, even when I'm dancing. Because sometimes when I'm having these people who are involved in my creativity, they don't necessarily come from a dance background. So then at the same time, I do not want, I see my work in its totality. So I do not try to sort of overdo my dancing and make them look sort of, not a shade, but many shades inferior. That is not the case. But sometimes it's still like, you know, it shows, like somebody said, you know, when you are dancing with your group, you do stand out. And I said, well, I mean, I can't help that.
I am who I am, of course.
So no, it hasn't been really a problem there, you know, of wearing two hats simultaneously.
Right.
Like sometimes the director also is there in front of the camera as an actor.
True.
You know,
I was just wondering if it clashed at all within your own mind. Now, the group of children who travel with you and who actually perform with you, at 18, you actually say bye-bye to them.
No,
what
I don't say bye-bye to them.
Don't they have to go move out on their own then at 18?
Yeah, I mean, the people who are, the kids who are with me, their range of ages 16 to 26, they have to say bye-bye from the center where they live in.
Okay.
You know, but it's not bye-bye with me. No, they...
But they still continue to perform with you.
Some of the kids not only dance with me, they also work with puppeteers, they also work with other dance groups. So they've now looked, they've taken on the mantle of being in the performing arts and taking it on as a profession, and they learn on the job and they're growing. So it's wonderful to see some of the individuals who are now a little more experienced than the younger ones. And like right now, one of my young ones wants to continue learning dance, and he goes to learn chow. And so we try to sort of help them if they are wanting and their interest is there. And some are there just for this particular assignment. They're enjoying the perks of travel, the experiences, the applause. Like every day after a performance is over, and the next day they run and open the page.
To see what's there.
And I said, well, it's too early. You know, maybe another day or two, and then you might be featured. It's not necessary that you will be featured. You know, so that kind of an experience they sort of go through while they are working.
Astad, we're talking a lot about money here, but when you were saying that there's not that much encouragement for something like what you're doing, what happens when you don't get the funding that you need? How do you cope? How do you manage?
Well, God is always great, has been great. So some friend sort of, or some stranger sometimes just comes by or happens to float by, but it's not that the pot is always full. But we manage, cut costs, and as I said, the work has to continue. The cliched saying the show must go on. So you go on, but people don't realize that that we also have to live as individuals. That even like when working with the government cultural agencies, or even like what is so despicable, I find. I know I'm going to sort of rattle a lot of nerves here. Even in Chennai, you know, during the sabhas and the dance, the presenters, you know, wanting the performers to pay. Or even sometimes when the sabhas ask you, not that I'm asked
Yes.
very often because my work is not really kosher, it's not considered.
Right.
And even at times I do find it that even the media, print media, will not send somebody to review my work because they don't feel that it's important. But the show has to go on, and it's very, very frustrating. But at the end of it, okay, I manage, and after all, when the work is appreciated, but as I said, still there are bills to be paid, and people don't realize that artists are also individuals, and we have to make a living. Everything goes up, so why can't a performer also be, his remuneration, honorarium, be also, you know, be given accordingly?
It's a lack of acceptance somehow that appears to be coming out in our conversation today. What do you think is the real reason for this, Astad? Is it that there are not enough contemporary dancers of your genre who are actually performing all the time and therefore making it more acceptable in a way?
Yes, acceptance has been very, very slow. But also, I would say the main problem is the lack of platforms, presenters. You know, they are not really convinced. Sure, I mean, it's still the number of people attending is relatively small numbers compared to a sort of a popular classical music performance, because music has always been a far greater reach compared to dance, even for Indian classical dance. So, but the younger generation I've seen for the last couple of years who've been coming to attend the performances have been very, very enthusiastic. And they say, well, when can we see you next? And even though you all sort of place me on this high, high pedestal, but it's still, I don't get to perform as often as I'd like to.
Right.
You know, even in my own home city, Mumbai, where though it's my base, I hardly work there because there the whole sort of the atmosphere, the buzz is entertainment, and Bollywood has become such a big brand. And even I take this point to even go with all the channels. That there's not a single channel today in the country which really devotes time to serious art. All these reality shows and this fashion and food, there's not a single a serious talk show or a serious show on dance, you know, on theater, where if you see overseas, whether it's the public broadcasting system in the US, whether it's ITV Channel 4 or the Arte channel in Europe, which devotes time to serious art, and there is constant sort of material to be shown. And at times I just feel that the channels are sort of saying to me to say, there are so many intelligent people in India who would like to see that interesting shows, and not just be seeing, you know, soaps are fine, everything is fine, but there should be
Let's
a
have
room.
space for this as well.
Absolutely, you
Right.
know, and it's again to say it's all about marketing, and you know, where are we going to get that money? You know?
I know, it's all about money really,
Right.
isn't it? Well, Asad, I'd really want to say thank you at this point of time, and do appreciate the fact that you've actually taken the time out to come and speak with me today. I do hope that the situation can get a little better, and perhaps the next time you're here, talk with me again, and perhaps it'll be better.
Thank you very much.
Thank
it's
you.
been a pleasure.
Thank you so much,
Right.
Astad. Well, that's all we have time for here on Reconnect. But you don't forget to keep watching, because this is the program where you're going to meet people who are interesting, people who always have a story to tell us. And I think that that's where you should be every Friday at 9:30 at night. And then don't forget that if you miss the show, you can always catch it again on Sunday mornings at 8:30. So until the next time, you take care. Bye for now.